G'day, guys, and welcome back to another Wednesday night live stream. So good to have all you guys here, see a few new guys there, and see a lot of the regulars, which is always good to see. So I hope everyone's had a fantastic week, safe and been out shooting, hopefully, and enjoying your sport. So before we start, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and after the video, please lay a comment down below. And if you want your name called out tonight in the roll call by Jason, make sure you lay some comments now. So we shall bring in Jason. G'day, Jason.
What's happening, everyone? What have you been up to?
Yeah, busy week this week. Started all the insurance work from all the flooding. So, yeah, helping people out, which is always good to do.
Yeah, it's raining down here a bit again today too. So hopefully it's not going to stick around. It was good to see a couple about a week of sun. So probably less than a week, about 5 days. So other than that, yeah, it's been all right. It looks like everyone's having a good time in the chat, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm just getting everything ready for my big 50th birthday party at my house on Saturday night.
Yeah, he's got all the barbecued meats, and what do you got? Chickens. What else you got coming? You got something else? I mean, deer, was it?
Yeah, smoked bull pork, fresh venison that was just caught, goulash, and I'll put a salad leaf on or something for people who like grass clippings, and lots of whiskey and beer.
Yeah, that's not too bad then. Yeah. Sounds like a good time. What's everyone been doing in the chat? Anyone been out doing anything, or hunting, shooting, fishing? What's everyone been up to? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to read out some of these comments.
Yeah, who is going duck shooting down in Victoria?
Yes.
That's more important. Who's going to go and get 4 ducks and drive home again?
Oh, well, I mean, people have got to participate, I guess. Otherwise, they'll probably just take it off them. But what did Andy say? Jason's top is disappointing this week. Where's the flair? Yeah, I don't have 20. What's from that movie? I don't have 21 or 12 pieces of flair this live stream, Andy, unfortunately. But from what I hear, the heat is coming down in the Premier in Victoria, so we'll see what happens. But
what have you heard? I haven't been online for a while, so
I haven't heard anything.
What have you heard?
You know, there's rustlings. You know, I can't say we don't want to get in trouble, so we won't say too much. But hopefully he's gone sooner rather than later. That'd be nice. Politically, of course, we're talking about. Hopefully, he just leaves office and then goes into oblivion. You know, that'd be nice. And no one ever hears from him again, and he minds his own business. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't think he's the sort of person, from what you read about him, that people who know him or work with him, he could really shut his mouth and just walk away. I think he's sort of a little bit like our topic tonight, someone who just can't keep their nose. They fuck it for everyone and still can't keep their nose out of people's business years and years later that they left office. I think he'll be one of those, man. He'll just want to have his stay, and he want to make sure stranglehold on his legacy, or the legacy in his own mind. I think, he'll be one of those people. I think he'll be the Labor John Howard.
Colin Penfold to that. Laurie Levy got embarrassed in court. He tried to stop the duck season. What do you know? Did he do some court something? Did he? I haven't heard about that, Colin. Let us know in the comments here what you've heard or what you've seen. I didn't know. I didn't know there was any court. I didn't hear anything about that. But let us know. Jason's going fishing. You got 3 small cod. And he says, a.k.a. Daniel Andrews, Teflon power. Teflon, exactly. Nothing sticks to Teflon. Until you scratch the surface, then it starts flaking off, and then you eat it, and then you get sick. But yeah.
Yeah, Tank Meister says all those bastards are going to go live in China. Australian state premiers and are a total disgrace.
Sean says, duck season opens Saturday. Here, 8 bird bag. Yeah, that's right. I'll be there. Can't wait. Yeah, that sounds pretty fun, you lucky bastards. I'd love it.
Now,
if it was
what
up
did
here
it
too,
used to be? What did it used to be before I started chopping it? the bag limit?
Good question. You guys that were duck hunting years ago, what was it years ago? Was it always 8, 10, 12 bag? What was it generally? I mean, was it ever any more than that? Was there ever any really high numbers? Anyone that's been hunting for a long time, has there been any? Let us know. I'd love to find out what, some guys from 30 years ago, maybe what it was back then.
Is that 8 per day or 8 per season?
Nah, 8 a day.
No, yeah.
8 per season. You wouldn't bother.
Oh, fuck, wouldn't surprise me though, would it?
Yeah,
The way they're going.
Yeah. No, eight, daily bag limit. Yeah. He wants more power
once
of
it
money.
opens, we might do a duck season hunting special, because every year there seems to be some greenie that runs out in the middle of the wetlands and end up getting shot or something. So it may happen again this year if they're that dumb. Some animal justice and all that sort of crap, or they're always in the car park causing trouble or taking dead animals. That's what I can never understand. They go to Parliament House, right? We've all seen it. They take lots of dead animals and ducks and that rotting, which will have a lot of disease, and dump them on Parliament. Why aren't they getting arrested for that stuff? Because it's definitely like a biohazard, and that rotting meat thrown on the sidewalk of Parliament House.
Christo says Laurie failed in a last-minute court attempt to stop duck season. Well, yeah. I mean, 4 per day is a little bit ordinary. Matt says there was a 9 bag, but he doesn't give us a time frame when that was a 9 bagger, so I'm not sure about that.
Sean said back in the day, I think it was about 30 in the 1930s. Yeah, it's 90 years ago. Yeah,
exactly. I'm just looking at
20.
They tried to get an injunction to stop the Vic season. Unlimited. Wow.
Yeah, 69s.
Shoot as many as you wanted during the 80s. That's interesting. 10 per day in Victoria. That was what he's saying used to be the number. Duck hunters back in the day. What? Didn't give a duck gone. Sorry, man. Don't know what you're talking about there. Don't know. Not up with the English on that one.
They probably didn't give a crap about it back in the day. Just shot it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the gun license. That was the one thing they did too, the gun license thing to be on the water. I mean, that's just how they got around it. Well, I guess they're contributing to gun licenses. It's probably a good thing, but then they're able to be out on the water causing issue. I just don't know why it's not illegal if you're causing hindering an activity. It's all right. You can stand on the shore. If you're in the water hindering an activity, waving flags, you're hindering hunters that they wouldn't be there otherwise. And they go, well, we don't want to have to be out there. It's like, well, don't go out there then. But we have to. Okay, well.
When they get shot, they cry, "Oh, geez, no, arrest him! He tried to kill me." Well, if you're going to stand pop up in the middle of the wetlands out of the blue when people are shooting there, I don't think any court in the country would convict someone of that, and by no means the police would ever try and charge someone for that either.
Yeah, no, it's just stupid. And they go, "Oh, well, they're aggressive, or they did this or that." I was like, well, you're hustling out there hunting activities. I mean, I wouldn't be happy if someone trying to hunt deer, someone's dancing around in front of me with some, orange flag or something. I wouldn't be too impressed with it. I'd be like, oh, God. And then when I go to move, they then follow me because that's where, obviously they're trying to hinder, the animals from duck hunters or whatever. I mean, they only go where generally the hunters are because it's where the birds are going to be. And otherwise, they're not going to sit on the other side of the wetland where there's no hunters. Maybe they should do that. Then they can push them into the hunters. That'd be nice.
Yeah. They then they run out. Tracer said here they run out and go and grab the shot ducks out of the water before the hunters can retrieve their game, and they make a big song and dance. Yeah, just ridiculous.
Exactly. They never fix anything, only screw things up. That's from Harps. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they don't offer too much, do they, in regards to that? They're either in court or Laurie goes out on his wetland, gets his standard fine, for walking out on the water to get his TV appearance. Then you probably never see him for the rest of the year. Has anyone ever seen him multiple times throughout the season, or does he just normally go out the opening weekend? That's when the most public relations are out there, like TV and media and so forth.
Was that the radio announcer guy?
No, Laurie Levy's the head of the coalition against duck shooting. He's that guy I interviewed many years ago. That old grey-headed bastard.
What do you have to say when you interviewed him?
Just a bunch of crap. What greenies say, shouldn't hunt water birds, you should be an Olympic standard, blah, 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 blah. Just an idiot.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah,
I thought it
Olympic
was fun,
standards.
though, at the time. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, geez.
But,
you know what? Yeah, you might have to get one out and put that up and when we do a duck hunting thing, and so everyone can go and listen to it.
That was old, man. Geez, that was, I don't know how long ago, man. It was a very long time ago. Probably, let's have a look. I'll see if I can tell. You go on. You read some comments out.
Yep. Mr. Wonderful, they have no problem with all the cooked ducks hanging in the windows of Chinatowns. Yep, exactly. Yep.
No, that was number 21. So that was 2012, man. So, yeah, it was a decade ago. Long time ago, man.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah, Techmeister. I used to get zone permits around central Queensland national parks, and all nominated times showed fledgling ducks, so they have no idea that a hunting trip, realistically, I used to take about 10 max. I think Peter Beattie stopped all duck hunting and bird shooting here in Queensland. We can't even shoot the pesky crows on farms when they start attacking animals and stuff like that. And that's like a $20,000 fine to get caught shooting a crow or something like that. Yeah, no winged shooting here in
Queensland. Down the Riverina in New South Wales, you can shoot as many as you want.
Yeah, not up here. Peter Beattie, Labor.
West of the Great Dividing Range.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I don't know how many people used to get freaked out, man, when we used to go down there, and then on the rice fields, and they'd be having like a lot of the rice dumps as well, like where they have overseeded and all that. Man, there'd be people probably going to freak out at this, but there'd be thousands of galahs, man, thousands, mate. And he says, mate, got to get these things gone, man. They're screwing shit up, man. So we'd have a field day on the galahs too. I hate to say it, but fully legal, nothing wrong with. You can shoot galahs, crows, and sulphur-crested cockatoos west of the Great Dividing Range, especially in those cropping regions of the Riverina. Man, we've stoned heaps of crows there. We stoned some crows down the back, shooting, because they attack the lambs and pluck their bloody eyes out and so forth, and do whatever that and the young baby lambs and shit like that. They just cause a massive problem. A lot of crows, man. And actually, the crow species is one of the smartest bird species in the world, actually, or not far off anyway.
Yeah, they are.
Very smart.
Yeah, well, the way to get them is by having put a piece of meat on the ground and actually make little cutouts, life-size cutouts, like out of wood and that, and stick them on stakes around the meat to look like crows. And when they see other crows on the ground, they'll go in themselves, and that's how you can get them. Not here in Queensland, of course, but everywhere else. Tube says can't even shoot ducks in WA. Well, yeah, basically can't even really shoot guns in WA by the sounds of it. Not many.
My mate sent me that thing today, man. God, if you're in WA, guys, you got the worst premier going around. It was we saw my mate sent. I already seen it anyway. Where McGowan's next to the Indigenous lady doing the what would you call it? She's like
the hand signaling in that.
Yeah, like basically
signing.
Just reiterating what he's saying in basically Aboriginal. Like she's basically saying the same thing. It was the most cringiest. You just got to read the comments on this video. That one of the cringiest things I've ever seen, man. That was hilarious, though, I've got to admit. If you haven't seen it, guys, just type in McGowan. What's the word? My mate sent it to me. I'll see if I got it here. But
on YouTube.
Yeah, McGowan. I've got it here. He just sent it to me. No, he actually emailed it to me, didn't he? But there it is. I'll tell you guys what it's called. Here we go. Mark McGowan, Aboriginal woman translates English into English, man. It's the most cringe-worthiest thing you've ever seen, man.
This is an
I got it here.
important message to keep Aboriginal people safe.
You're playing it.
And again, the message.
Okay, we'll bring it up anyway. Here we go, guys. Before we start the topic, we'll have a bit of a laugh tonight. Here we go.
Yeah, it's the funniest thing you've seen.
A proper important one to keep everybody safe one.
You can die from the corona or get really sick.
You can pass away from this corona, or you can get really sick one.
It's time to get the corona needle to keep
God,
people and countries strong.
Real, man, eh?
Again, it's time to get them this needle, long corona, to keep them but all the people and country proper strong one.
The corona needle will protect kids, old people, men and women.
Well, the young corona needle gotta keep them a safe one for all the kids and for all the men and women.
It's going to keep them mega
Many
safe.
people around the world have already had the needle.
All right, that'll do.
More people all around the world.
It's classic, guys.
God, I don't know how a bunch of people were editing this, or there wasn't much editing. I don't think they had to be because they were zooming in. But I don't know how on earth his team
already get them, but
it's playing again. How on earth his team looked at that and said, let's put that out. Let's actually put that out onto the internet. I mean, this was so bad it went around the world to literally the whole world, man. We're on UK TV. That Dan Bongino from America had it all. He was doing it in his daily show. What's the other guy, the gun guy? Charlie Kirk had it on his show, man. It was just all over the internet. Don't know how they saw that. Let's actually put this on the internet. Let's put this out. Holy shit.
Classic. It is classic. And thank you to JR for a 50th birthday present. Thank you so much. Really, once again, guys, I really appreciate your super chats. And if you send a super chat, we will read your question out. So thank you so much for the birthday present, JR. Really do appreciate it. So, well, it was a bit of a laugh. So let's get into tonight's topic. So here in Queensland. Oh, do you want to read read it out? Yeah. Roll call out. Everyone always wants that.
While you were... All right, Andy 1234777 Blunt Machete Boltzer. Is it Boltzer? Botzler 27. Sherry, Cliff Lee, Colin Penfold, Dat Dank Bloke, Ecstatic Pessimist, Fox 860, Fried Dog RC. I'll tell you a story about that later, Fried Dog. Griffo 117, Harps 666, JR, Jack Daniels, M. Gabriel, Mad Outdoors Adventures, Mr. Wonderful, Mr. John Boy, 1965, Phantom HD, Phil Walter. Oh, and he's got a new one now. Proboscis, Uranus, a.k.a. our buddy Probing. He's always changing his name. Ray Thomas, Religion is Poison. Renata Pluta, Salty Skibby, Scott Styles, Stan Long Range Pensioner Mans, Tank Meister, Tracer 123, Tube User C1, Vegas AB. Thank you for joining us in the stream.
Yeah. Is that all? Is that all the people there is?
That's it, man. That's it. Well, that's all the ones that laid comments anyway. My apologies if anyone else is in there. Yep, no, that's it. All the people that commented, thank you very much. Sorry if we've missed out there, but Captain Caveman CG just popped up in there, so sorry if I've missed anyone else.
Scott Styles and Fox 806 and Neil Constantine.
There goes Neil. Neil just popped up too. Neil, yep. Because they don't lay comments, they're not coming up in the participants. Only comes up in the participants register.
Oh, yep. Cool.
Yep.
All righty. So, guys, yesterday there was a targeted shooting here in Queensland. It's been all over the news up here. And a guy was sitting in his car and gunned down. So I'll bring this up. Southeast Queensland, a man is fighting for his life after being shot in the head this morning. Paramedics responded to reports that a man has been injured at an address in Harlexton and Toowoomba this morning around 2:50. The 24-year-old man was taken to Toowoomba Hospital with life-threatening injuries, head injuries. I don't think it says in this one, but there was several shots gunned through while he's in his car, and one managed to hit him inside in the head. Further investigation, 24-year-old man sustained a single gunshot wound to the head. As a police statement read, he is transported to the PA hospital. and undergoing surgery. Detective Senior Sergeant Paul McCluster said it has believed that several people in a white Ford Ranger are responsible for shooting the man in his car after the man's Mitsubishi Lancer was found nearby. We believe the number of rounds were fired, and one of those rounds hit the driver. Sorry, they did say it, yeah. A number of persons have heard what they believe are gunshots at the time. The victim was the only person in the vehicle. The white car is believed to be linked to the arson of a vehicle located 2 hours south at 5 a.m. this morning. So they burnt out the Ford Ranger, which was probably stolen, I dare say. It is not absolutely confirmed, but it is the same colour make that the Senior Sergeant McCluster said. Pretty sure it would be the same one, wouldn't it? Police are urging that members of the public snitch and dob people in, which I wouldn't be too keen in doing something like that. If someone was prepared to execute someone in a car, I don't think I'd be coming forward and saying things. Jeez, you're just painting a target on your back, really, aren't you?
I mean, don't know if these people obviously know each other, and these articles are pretty shocking, to be honest. They tell us all this information. Someone in the in every bloody article I go to seems to be closed, but someone said that one of the police didn't know that he was shot in the head until they were on their way to the hospital. But I'm just not sure how they could miss someone getting shot in the head. Poor bugger. I mean, again, like I said, obviously, probably guys are known to each other. I mean, normally when people attack each other, 9 times out of 10 they know each other. Yeah. Of course, there are some random attacks just in general, but normally it's over something. Yeah, it could be, I don't want to speculate or anything. Could be know each other. Could be nefarious, drug dealing. Could be, we don't know that, but, again, because these articles are terrible. So, or it could just be just a basic dispute and someone's decided to take it to the next level, which is pretty shocking.
Or being a Ford Ranger, could be a tradesman and the builder's not paying his bill. You never know.
There's avenues to go down. People don't generally shoot people in the head over a bill, but then again, people do stupid things when, they feel like they've been slighted, which is not good. So,
yeah. So it's, so once again, John Howard's gun laws are a complete failure. So this is what everything tonight is about. Gun bans just do not work. 100% don't work. So why are the politicians... Why can't they get it through their heads that we are wasting taxpayers' money, time, and with all these gun laws and crippling the economy because the amount of money that so far, which is well over $1 billion, I've read somewhere that the 1996 gun bans have has cost us, and they haven't solved one single crime through the gun bans. So you look at all the illegal shootings. They are all done with banned guns. Look at Man Monis, Lint Cafe, banned sawn-off pump-action shotgun that John Howard took away years earlier. And that brought in another spate of gun bans with the Adler gun ban, and that turned into bans of bloody the Adler shotgun. It turned into all the shotgun bans, the lever action shotguns. Sorry, my screen's just crapped out here. So yeah, that didn't exactly work out too well. The Australian gun bans did it.
Salty Skibby said, I bet the street bought gun was used. Probably. I doubt it was some legal law-abiding one for someone to be so brazen to try and shoot somebody, in their vehicle. But yet again, it happens on the odd occasion, doesn't it? Criminals, this is probing. Criminals love gun control, means they're the only ones who have them. Yep. But we can never get that through their heads. Well, unless you're Ukraine, they're happy to arm the Ukrainians, just not their own people, Ukrainians are more important, apparently, than their own citizens here in Australia, which is kind of funny. But
yeah, exactly. Sorry, guys, just got to move my camera. Oh, it doesn't really work.
Prober said, over meth deals, no need for detective work. Could be. We don't know that. We don't want to. Could just be a dispute, over sometimes it's over drugs or boyfriend, girlfriend, or somebody owes someone money or something along those lines. So,
yeah, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And what always gets me, we've said this before, that the politicians just too scared to go behind. I read so much go behind John Howard's back, but to change his laws for the better, to get rid of some of these laws that are costing taxpayers money and ruining the sport. It's just like they put them up on a pedestal. Even Labor politicians won't do it, and they seem to. We've heard in past Labor politicians praising John Howard. It's just bloody ridiculous.
Well, we saw that during the 2-3 years ago. I'm getting on to about 3 years now. I mean, we're looking at the polls came out for old Scummo yesterday, and I mean Scummo's toast. So Alba, unfortunately, that bastard Alba. Well, I don't really care. I can't stand Morrison. I think he's a fake conservative. So I'll be glad to see the back of him. But then you've got Commie Albo as well. So I think the best we're going to be able to. And when I say best, this is the best for people. In regards to freedom, not just the gun thing, but we're probably going to have Albo as Prime Minister come. Somewhere around the middle to the end of May. But hopefully we have some, lower parties that hold a balance of power. I think that's the only hope we're going to get. ScoMo's 10 points behind. It's going to be very difficult to make up that margin. Yeah, it's not looking good for old ScoMo. And, he's trying to do some tax cuts today to try and butter people up 10 weeks out from the election. So I don't think that's going to work. I think both parties are in for a major hammering, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, it's fantastic at this election coming up. So it's going to be very interesting. So pretty much all Albo has to do at this point is literally do nothing. Don't talk about franking credits. Don't talk about stupid electric vehicle policies right before the election, which lost him the last one. He just literally needs to do nothing controversial and he'll beat him. I mean, but again, that's how bad ScoMo's done, unfortunately. He had a chance and he fucking blew it big time, which I'm not unhappy about. I think he's a sellout. He's a fake conservative sellout, deserves to go. But then we get Albo. But you can't just keep one to stop the other one getting in. Maybe the old Liberals need a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah. So what? Well, basically they all need to go. I do like Pauline Hanson's new cartoon about feeding the swamp monsters of bureaucrats, and man, that just absolutely shamed Albo and Morrison big time. And the Greens.
One thing, Mad Outdoor Adventures, he bought it on himself, not doing anything during the floods. Well, I'll add to that. The floods, the shithouse leadership during the last 2 years of what, and when I was in the fires down in Malakuta, also very poor as well, going on holidays and doing it. Terrible, man, terrible. Yeah, I mean, Probing says, Albo and Penny Wong, just imagine. Yeah, exactly. But, again, just don't think Morrison deserves warning. That's what we're going to get anyway. So just hopefully people say, well, but we're not going to have any, there's going to be nothing that's going to happen over the next 3 to 4 years. We're not going to get any movement on anything because, hopefully the major parties don't hold the balance of power. And I said, well, that's good, thankfully. Hopefully there's no movement forward. That way we can at least stay where we are, which is pretty bad. We don't want to move further towards other major issues that, further degrade the country. So I think the best thing to do at the moment is we just stay as we are under the control of some minor parties, hopefully. But I mean, it's a bad situation of affairs at the end of the day, but what do you do?
And this is something I agree. ScoMo and his net zero gives me the shits. This is from Jack Daniels. We need cheap electricity prices. That is done with coal and nuclear. I think nuclear power plants should be absolutely everywhere. We should have running our whole country off it. It's the safest, cleanest form of electricity and the cheapest. Just like this electric car crap. I know we're getting off topic a bit, but even Elon Musk said electric cars will never work in Australia because you charge too much for electricity. People can't afford to plug your cars into your wall at home and charge them. The electricity is too expensive here. And he even said Tesla will never take off like it's meant to take off in Australia because of that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about EV cars and all that. I mean,
I think a lot of people buy
them. I mean, I guess we have to probably think it probably is the future. And I'm gonna say future. I mean, eventually it's gonna go that way. It's only a matter of time. I think. I mean, it could take 30 years, 50, 60. I mean, it's happening now, but I mean, I'm talking full mainstream adoption. Probably still a long way to go yet. But I don't know how they're going to do like courier vehicles. I mean, if batteries come a long way, possibly, but you need something that's got couriers, truck drivers. How are you going to power a big, massive truck towing you know, how many tons? It's just not feasible, I don't think. Yeah, maybe there are out there and have the expense. But anyway, that's a separate topic anyway.
Well, this will get Jason's nose out of joint. The right, you just don't get Muppet Elbow. You get Petty Wong and the witch Christine Kenley. I'm also voting Liberal. Don't want to, but have to. No, you don't have to at all, dude. No, you don't. If everyone voted for the minor parties, especially like I don't like either of them really, Pauline Hanson and the other one, Clive Palmer. But if they get enough in and people go away from that, they could hold the balance of power, and the government will have to basically bow down to them, or by some miracle they could get in. You don't have to vote for Liberals or Labor, and we can make a difference. Imagine if they had to go through one of the smaller parties to make any decision. How good would that be?
I mean, I know Mr. Wonderful's been a long time on the thing, so I don't want to, be too hard on him, of course. But I mean, this is the inherent problem. Again, I was talking to my mate who we get under Malakuta with his wife. Oh yeah, I'm voting ScoMo. And I said he's done well during these things. I'm just going, Jesus Christ, man. This is why voting should not be mandatory for, like, I like my mate's wife, top bird, but man, it's not very smart when it comes to politics, unfortunately. And again, I don't know why on earth you would vote for Scott Morrison. Like, I don't want to vote for Albo either. I'd be voting for Albo. But again, based on just what the Liberal Party has done, sell out Conservatives, but mainly the bad gun laws also during 96. So they hate to say it, they're always dead last for me on every election. It goes Liberal, Greens, and then Labor. That's how it always goes for me. Again, and I'm conservative, and I just can't stand fake conservative parties that are just like Labor. No difference between Labor and Liberal, in my opinion. So anyway, we'll see what happens in the election. Hopefully there's a good turnout for the minor parties, at least to cause at least a little bit. You remember what happened years ago? And, Pauline Hanson first came on the basically popped up, and she got such a good amount of votes, they had to make up false allegations and put her in prison for a while. I mean, just terrible, absolutely terrible. But anyway.
Is Mr. Wonderful replying? Reality is a small amount of people vote for the minor parties. That is not going to change. It's a two-horse race, and will always be and always will pick the least shitty horse. Well, the least shitty horse is some of the minor parties. Yeah, you got rocks in your head. I'm sorry if you're going to vote for those two. This is the election. Probably the biggest election that we actually have a decent chance of changing. And up here in Queensland, I'm seeing Clive Palmer's and Pauline Hanson's signs absolutely everywhere around the streets, everywhere. And I'm not seeing any Labor or Liberals.
Race. It's a two-horse race. Well, only if you allow it to be, man. You know what I mean? People say, oh, well, it's only going to be them. Oh, what's the point? Well, okay. Well, then just don't vote for them. If they get enough people not voting for them, that might make a difference. It's just, maybe not now, maybe in the next 20 years. But again, sorry, I'm not saying you, but a lot of dumb people are voting for them. They think they've done a good job during the pandemic. I couldn't imagine Scott Morrison doing the worst job currently at the moment. But anyway, that's a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah, so it's all about your preferences.
I mean, your vote, you do as you please, but again, voting for parties that's just on principle alone that have taken your guns away is just fucking madness, in my opinion. But anyway, you're entitled. That's why, again, I just keep saying it year on year on out, and people say you're negative. This is why, again, you just got no hope of ever getting your guns back if people are still going to vote for the Liberal Party that fucking took away their guns, or the Labor Party for that matter, or the Nationals, or the Greens. It's just fucking madness, man. Anyway, I can't understand it, but good luck with it. Yeah.
Remember, Mr. Wonderful, they are the ones that took your guns. They took them, and you're never getting them back, ever.
Yeah, I'll never, ever vote
of the Liberals.
Ever again.
Yeah, they just have
anyway.
They basically destroyed shooting and put a lot of mum and pop businesses out on the street, and caused all this gun violence and crime in Australia, exactly like what we've seen. That's just mad, absolutely mad.
And also, two people don't realise I read that book. Remember that book of that guy that I interviewed ages ago? Wrote that gun control book, about 2-part series. And what you don't realise too is the amount of people that went out of business, bankrupt, lost their homes, which then caused undue pressures on relationships, a lot of divorces, family breakdowns. Fathers and mothers not seeing kids and so forth. Man, it wasn't just taking guns off you. That's just one part of it. That's just one part of all the people that went out of business. And it was, and bankruptcy, losing their homes, their livelihoods, man. So far more reaching than just people just losing guns. You know what I mean? It was devastating to a lot of people.
Yeah. He even mentioned me in the book, didn't he? Bagging this show out. He's a bit of a scumbag, that guy. But didn't like me, did he? In the book.
Who was
that
in
guy
the
wrote
book?
the book.
Oh, there.
He mentioned me, and he thinks this show has done damage to shooting. One of those guys beating on that drum. Sherry, I'd vote for Shooting Stuff Australia. Well, as I said before, I cannot become a politician. I have morals in life. I can't stand there and lie and bullshit to the general public. And I have morals, and I just couldn't become a politician. Once you're a politician, you're stained for life. You've always got that stigma around your neck. So no, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that was him. Colin's got it right. He's always pretty up on this stuff. Tom Frame, that was him. Tom Frame.
Oh, Tom. Fucking Tom.
Yeah. The interesting part about that, if you want to go listen to about that, it's Tom Frame. It's I can't remember which episodes. I can quickly have a look, but it was funny too. It was hilarious because when I sort of when he sort of asked it, I think I had to pause the show at one stage, one of the podcasts that I did with him, because he then said to me he agreed with the ban, but then on the flip side had property and had his category C, and I just said. I paused it. I said, "Dude, I think I said, are you sure you want to go down that path, man? I really don't think that's going to go down well that you're advocating or in support of semi-automatic bans." Oh, but he goes, "I followed the process." And I go, "Mate, you just don't understand." I said, "You just don't understand that you've got your category C, you've gone through the process and no one else can get them. And you're telling everybody that the ban was good." I said, "Mate, very poor, very poor." And I said, "I really wouldn't be saying that." So so we started recording, and he goes, "Oh, I'm happy to ask the question." And that's what I did. And he just fucking couldn't get it, mate. He just couldn't get it. Just one of those guys that, happy with the bold action. And that's really about it. But it was episode 207 and 205 and 207, because I split them up between another show. So something
I remember you phoning me up and saying, "Oh, this guy's written. You read the book." It was one of the first books you'd read for years, wasn't it? You're going, "Oh, geez, I've got to actually read a book." And and you said, "Oh, it's got you in it, and he doesn't like you in that." Did you actually ask him about that or not? So I was hoping you're going to give him a bit of curry about it.
I can't remember. It would have been if it was. Was it at the end of episode 2? Yeah, part 2.
Is it
part 2?
Yeah. Apparently, this live stream is ruining shooting. A few people were banging on about that in the past. Just numbnuts. So
yeah. I mean, hey, if they're worried about what 2 idiots are saying on the internet, well, it's interesting. But
get a life. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Mr. Wonderful also makes a good point too. Most of the independents screw you over in a time of crisis anyway. Look what happened in Victoria. Well, exactly. It all depends on what independents you've got in there. I mean, they weren't expecting, Jeff Borman from the SFP to also vote on legislation that gave Daniel Andrews more power. But, people do stupid things. They've got the Justice Party. Well, we can't expect much from them. They're going to vote Labor. We had, what's that, the one from the Sex Party? What was the name? Colin, you'll know this one.
Colin know about a sex party person.
No, it was just the name of the party. Sorry, Colin, I don't mean it like that. What's the name again?
I know what you mean. And then she changed it. Now she's part of Animal Justice, isn't she?
No, she's part of the Fiona Patton guys. She's part of the she was formerly part of the Sex Party. But what's she part of now? I can't remember the name. She actually follows me on Twitter. I'm like, ugh, why would you follow me? Go away. Like, honestly.
Exactly.
She's the Reason Party. The Reason Party. She's part of the Reason Party. Formerly what they call the Sex Party, and she voted for it too. But what do you expect from these people anyway?
Well, guys, who in this live stream, and I really do promise, we won't ridicule you, who is voting for Jeff Borman if you live in Victoria?
Well, that's at the end of the year.
shoots?
That's at the end of the year. That's at the end of the year. But
Yeah, but who would vote for him?
I don't know. I see a few people on the page occasionally still crowing about it. So,
Yeah.
it's up to you guys what you decide to vote for. If you want more of the same and more support of Daniel Andrews, then go ahead.
We will play the Three Stooges video again nearer to the election as well, just to refresh your memory on it.
No, not that video again. Yeah.
Everyone seems to love that. Just put it out there. And we have a good one, the good one that everyone likes, with Pauline Hanson talking about she'll never change gun laws.
Yeah, well, that's a disappointing part, isn't it, of all this stuff going on? I mean, these laws, like this guy, what do you guys think in the comments? What do you guys think is going to happen, with some of these parties? Where do you see hope coming from? Do you see it in the political spectrum, or do you see it in the law spectrum, like with court cases or stuff like that? Where do you see the differences? Where do you think is it going to be in the voting, or is it going to be in the courts? Is it all fruitless? Is it all a waste of time? Is it all hopeful? Let us know. We'll read out some of your comments. Nick McCarr already says, I'm convinced that voting is pointless. Yeah, well, that's one or the other. They never do what they're going to say, eh? And but people say the independents never do what they want, but would never do what people want. But hey, give them a chance to find out. We've never really had a strong foothold where we've had 50% of people voting for other parties outside the majors. I mean, don't forget, you only get about 28%, or is it 30% roughly? From 25 to 34% of people voting for major parties. So you're only always ruled by someone that's only getting 34% of the vote.
And Jack Daniels said Pauline panicked with that sting. Yeah, she did panic. If she took a step back and didn't try and react straight away and thought about what she was going to say a bit better and not just instantly throw shooters underneath the bus, then she could have come out with a bit more of an intelligent comments about the shooting community. But considering she is a firearms holder, I think, pistol holder, she definitely did a full backflip and threw us underneath the bus, saying she will never change gun laws again.
Tech Gun says main thing, she's fuds and people who don't want the average person to own semi-autos. Well, yeah, that's true as well. The High Court, that's if you think the High Court, Harps 666, and we've seen during the what for the last 2 years, the cops doing unfortunately the bidding of the government, and the courts being puppets to the government as well. So I don't really have much hope there either, to be honest. Really, sometimes they'll throw you a bone to make it look like we're in a democratic nation, but get the courts and the judges. Guess who they're paid by? The government. It's supposed to be a separation of power, and a real separation of power, not a pretend one.
Always look at who signs the paychecks. That's for sure.
Yeah, Sherry said going down the shit shoot fast. Yes, it definitely is.
Neil, Clive Palmer is a Trump. Well, Clive Palmer is not a fan of shooters, but as I said before, it's getting to the stage now to get these people out. I think Pauline Hanson and Clive Palmer may be the only two. And Pauline Hanson, well, even though she backflipped and threw us under
the only ones I'd even consider right
now. She'll never change the laws, so she won't take anything. She's basically said that.
The only ones I'd be considering probably at this stage during the election would probably be One Nation, obviously the Liberal Democrats, and who is the other one? UAP and Craig Kelly. It's the only ones I'd even be thinking about at this stage. But if you got any more, I mean, people say the Great Australia Party or the Australian Party, but they're going to have, But again, let's not forget too. I keep saying to people as well, with the, you don't have many left-wing parties. You really only got Labor and the Greens. Yeah, there's a couple of small ones around the fringes, but you got to understand that I think Kelly's party or Palmer's party, One Nation, and probably the Liberal Democrats are probably going to absolutely sting those votes pretty hard away from the Liberal Party. So, they've got a lot to contend with right now, is the Liberal Party, and I think there's no chance. A lot of people will go to UAP, One Nation, Liberal Democrats, absolutely they will. So, yeah, ScoMo's got no chance. If he loses even 10% of those votes, see you later, goodbye, he's finished. So,
yeah, well, remember also what's going in Clive Palmer's corner is the popularity of the Aussie Cossack. He, well, we know he does like firearms. He likes firearms, even though he doesn't shoot here in Australia. But he's he pushes them so hard, and I think he's actually going to run for one of the seats in Melbourne, the Aussie Cossack. And so maybe he's got a lot of followers, and he's pumping it
it's in
out for them.
Sydney. It's in Sydney.
Yeah, in Sydney he's going to run. Yeah, but he's pushing them
okay.
hard, so he's drawing attention to them with all his followers.
Sorry, I thought you said Melbourne. I got it wrong, probably, did I?
Yeah, no, I didn't know. I said Sydney. Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay, yeah.
so he's really helping the cause as well for the Australian Party. So, yeah, so you've got to remember that as well. And a lot of people listen to him and follow him. And if he keeps, like anything, keep drumming it into their heads continuously, that's what they're going to stick in their heads on polling day. But what's worse is they're actually talking about bringing. I mate was telling me he's read a thing that they're going to bring those Dominion, electronic voting
system.
things, and into the next election. Well, we all know how that happened. The most legitimate president in history seemed to win, didn't he? No, Hong Kong. So
Exactly.
that
I mean,
will just be a complete disaster. That will just be the end of it. Because we know that would just be pure corruption, anything like electronic.
Yeah, CG said Clive Palmer's a bit of a knob, but he shake up Australia's what it needs. Yeah, I probably tend to agree with that. Don't like the bloke really, but he tends to give these government officials a bit of curry, which I do like. Don't like him as a person, but technically, but he does, he get amongst it, that's for sure. Rod says, Percy, I believe Liberal Democrats are the best of the lot. Listen, if you're in Victoria as well, I mean, Quilty and Limbrick, man, have done I can't fault Limbrick and Tim Quilty, Dave Limbrick and Tim Quilty in Victoria, man. They've done a fantastic job down there. Those guys have been working, man, hours are crazy. Just from what I see occasionally on Facebook as well, they're out there. They're pro-freedom during the thing. They've talked about duck hunting. I mean, yeah, just if you're in Victoria, they're definitely guys to look at, that's for sure.
Yeah, they've done really well. Yeah.
I mean, as opposed to what? Daniel Andrews, the failed Matthew Guy Liberal government. Forget him, mate. Forget him totally. And you've got Animal Justice. You've got No Thanks. You've got the Reason Party, that Fiona Patton, No Thanks. And, mate, Liberal Democrats, the only ones that have really, tried to push Dan hard and not agree with his policies throughout pretty much the last 2 years. They've been sleeping on Parliament steps at some stage. I mean,
Dan wanted to arrest them, didn't he? He actually wanted them arrested.
He called them,
called the riot squad on them. They were just standing, and they said, as soon as you step off those steps, we're going to have you arrested.
Like, that's that. If I was in Victoria, that's definitely who I'd be looking at. I mean, again, only on their performance. I want to definitely see them, up their firearms performance. Ever since David Leyonhjelm left, I think it's been lacking. Obviously they've got a lot of different policies, and during the pandemic, so I'm sure it wasn't on top of their list. But would love to see an increase in that. If that's one of my criticisms for them, I'd like to see definite increase. But compared to other parties, can we? I don't know. Can we really hope for Kelly in that on a firearms issues all one nation? So I don't know. If I'm just flicking offhand, it'd be LDP or Liberal Democrats, probably One Nation, then UAP for me, maybe at this stage.
Well, something I was very surprised about this week. Sort of gone off topic. It's politics.
Only because we can't trust Kelly as much as we can. Maybe Pauline's going to do the same thing, but. I don't know. I like the ads she's been playing too. Those little skit things she's been making about the politicians.
The last one absolutely destroyed the fat cat politicians. But what surprised me this week was the Premier of New South Wales actually came out and said the rat tests and the mask rubbish at schools and that was just a political stunt, and it was never backed by science. So he's basically saying what everyone has known, saying the whole thing, well, not the whole thing, but all that was just a political stunt for the media to go along with the narrative. That was amazing. Could not believe he said that. That high-ranking politician actually came out and said that. Man, his bosses must have been seething at him for saying that. seething, because that was only just the tip of the iceberg. And if it's all a political stunt about one thing, is it what's to go with all the rest behind the scenes? Is all that a political stunt, especially after you read all these things? Not saying it's true, but some of the jab companies, it hasn't worked for 6 months or more. It doesn't do anything. Who knows? You're reading all that sort of stuff about it and news articles, and especially the stuff that's coming out on some of the independent channels and Fox News. They're saying all that sort of stuff. Yes, yeah. And when he said that, I was unbelievable.
60 says, sorry, guys, I thought this was a shooting channel. Well, we've got the elections coming up very soon. So someone said Ricardo Bozzi too for PM. I don't know much of this at the Australian Party or the Great Australian Party. I think, hey, maybe they might be 4. That'd be 4 for me. And then Rod Fitzpatrick says, Jays, that's most likely the pick as well. Well, also too, in saying that, we do talk about gun stuff and no one's interested, man. So they're only interested in gun bans and the rest of the bit, So talk about reloading, no one cares apparently.
Yeah. We've done all the gun stuff, reloading, talking about our favourite guns, calibers, hunting, and no one at all wanted to watch those videos. They all wanted to hear about gun bans, like tonight's topic. They want to hear about the shootings and all that around Australia, and what we can do about gun bans and the news articles that we bring out. No one wants to listen to us talk about guns. That was the actual intent 2 years ago. We're actually coming up to the 100th episode in the next few weeks, and that was the whole intent, was pretty much just talk about guns and stuff every week. But no, it's turning into just no one just wanted to listen to any of that. We do have quite an interesting article from the spread of our cancer gun laws spreading to other countries. That'll be coming up soon as well, where other countries are looking at banning and doing what Australia has done as a knee-jerk reaction. So that'll be a topic coming up very soon.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, well, what are some topics you guys want to hear about? Let us know before we finish off. What do you guys want to talk about? There you go. Put it in there.
Yeah, exactly. And before we do go, guys, we want to thank the NSC that has sponsored this show. So they have, of course, they are your genuine reason for firearms in New South Wales, Victoria, and Queensland. And you can see where all your membership money's going, and it's going towards fighting gun bans. They actually have helped overturn a few gun bans in WA and around the show, and helped to ease a few gun bans, so it's not as bad as what they get. So they took a lot of the sting out of some, and they actually are helping. Now, you have seen in the past episodes recently, helping out shooters. Look at last week's one, where they're helping out a 74-year-old lady who got her gun license taken off her, and they're helping her to get it back. So that is where your money is going. So definitely go and sign up with them, which is an absolute must.
Here we go. Jacko said WA Firearms Bill 2021 currently... where'd it go? Currently in the WA lower house, banning reloading technical data. Interesting. There's a lot of stuff. Michael says, when are we organising a group hunt or meat barbecue or a hunt? Well, a lot of us are all in different states, man, unfortunately, but it'd be nice.
And we can't do it up here in Queensland because
we can't do anything at the moment, but maybe next year or the next 3 years, maybe you might be lucky.
Well, it can't be here in Queensland because we'll have to go over to the border down Tweed Heads, because a lot of people can't go to bars and pubs up here because they haven't had the old jab. So
then so what we said, this one's in Vegas AP, just picked up a Norinco SKS 76239, comparable, available in Australia. Many years ago.
They were until 1996. They were very popular here. You could get them for $50 back then. $50, $100 is how much they were.
CG pistols on private land. Yeah, that'd also be nice too, man. That'd be also very nice.
Yeah, we might do a thing on pistols and that on private land and that, because that's a lot of questions I get asked about that.
Here's a good one before we go. Anyway, too, Ferret said, I want to talk about how to actually change the gun laws in this country. Yeah, well, been doing that for 10 years. It's a very hard process. Do we need lots of money to take every restriction to court, or try and get sleeper agents into Parliament. That's a whole different
Lots
question.
of money.
Yeah,
Lots and lots
man.
and lots and lots of money. Clive Palmer sort of money we need.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Or
We could be doing a lot better. Some organisations, we won't name who, but most people will probably know, need to sort of really start, they've got enough money to do so. So it'd be nice to, start putting that money to good use instead of, wasting on crap or not doing anything with it, or, people expect that. But, what do you do?
and Mr. Wonderful again, don't WA consider spent cartridges as live ammunition? Yeah, that I have heard that, because I have had people contact me saying in the past that they've been done because they had a couple after a hunting trip underneath their seat and they got pulled over. Cops saw it, of course. They're small. They can roll around sometimes, and they've been done for it in WA.
Anyway, that's it.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Anything? Bought a take anything
Yep.
called? Yep, that's about it. I think I'm just having a look. Let's go to Aaron, said Neil. You can put on a do. Yeah. All right, that's it.
Have a
Good
big shed party. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. So please hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up. Sorry, it turned into a political one. We are going to. I was even thinking of getting on and streaming the election thing and commentating on it. A proper commentation on the night would be a bit of a laugh over a few drinks. So we will might consider doing that. And thank you so much for watching. And please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. And please put a thing out on the community page and a link on YouTube about going over to my building channel, and I just need another 400 subscribers and I can finally get monetized, which would be very nice. So even if you don't like that sort of content, please go over and sign up to my Building Stuff Australia channel. So the links are down below in the description. Links to Jason's stuff is down below. And have a fantastic night and a safe week, and we will see you in 7 days' time. Good night.